All right. We are here outside of Turning Points USA Detroit Conference, and we are talking to...
My name is Anthony Hudson, and I am running for U.S. Congress in Michigan's 8th District.
What does the 8th District cover exactly? Because I'm up in Waterford.
So they redistrict everything a few years ago, so now we just cover Genesee County, Saginaw County, Bay, and Midland counties.
Okay, so you're out towards the center of Michigan?
Yep, mid-Michigan.
Okay, yeah. So who are you running against? Is there a Republican primary right now? And
we do have a primary right now. We have Paul Young, who has run in the last 2 cycles. He's won the primary, but did not win the general against Kildee. And then we also have Midland's Mary Draves, who has jumped into the congressional race as well.
So why did you feel you had to throw your hat in the ring then?
Because I'm an American that's pissed off with what our government is doing to the American people. I feel like we are now taking the back seat in our own country to the illegal immigrants that are coming here. I don't like that our American dollar's going all over the world while we neglect our veterans, our homeless. We have hungry people on the streets. We have single moms that are struggling to take care of their children. We have jobs disappearing. We're sending everything overseas. We're just not focused on this country, and I want to bring that priority back to Congress.
So as far as like prioritizing funding, do you think like we should cut off aid for Israel and Ukraine, or?
Ukraine, I absolutely believe that we need to stop. We've given enough, and right now I feel like they're trying to take advantage of the situation. They're drawing this out. I think there's been opportunities to seize that conflict over there, and Zelensky is not interested. He wants to fight. Well, if he wants to fight, it's costing you your tax dollars. It's costing me my tax dollars. So I would rather see, when people out here are chanting America first, I believe that there's a narrative there that we need to pay attention to the American people and our future so that we can be a better supporter of other countries down the road. Right now, a weak United States is no good for the rest of the world.
Right, sort of a common thread, although we disagree on tactics and everything, obviously. But yeah, so it's interesting, why Ukraine but not Israel? Obviously, I agree with Ukraine. It's a black hole of corruption, so every dollar we spend there, that's like $3 lost.
Right.
I fully agree with you there. But why not stopping military supply to Israel? I mean, this is the most well-funded country since '48, the top recipient of all foreign aid. So what's the difference between Israel and Ukraine, you think?
Well, I'll go on the record right now and say I do not support the genocide that is happening from either side, between Hamas or Israel. I do understand the importance of our allies overseas and in the Middle East, and Israel is one of our largest allies. And if we can protect that friendship and defend that relationship, that's one thing, which is what we're doing. We have declared as a nation that we are not going to go on the offensive with Israel against Iran or Syria or anyone else. We're strictly there to take out missiles that are coming in. Defense. I'm okay supporting the defense of Israel, but I'm not okay with us going on the offensive with them. We still have our issues here that need to be taken care of, but we have to protect our allies and our friendships. We lose those, who are we?
Right. Well, yeah, it's essentially the same position as Trump and Obama, right? Whereas we're not going to be the front line for Israel going into Iran.
Right.
So you're sort of supporting a non-interventionist policy. What do you think about, like, say, defense contractors and things like that? Should there be some way to rein them in or maybe split them up a bit? Because clearly they have way too much influence and, like, they benefit off of these giant wars.
No, they absolutely benefit off of it. I mean, everyone talks about war being all about money. You know, and it shouldn't be. It should be about whatever the conflict is, let's resolve it, let's get in, let's get out quickly, and let's start repairing the damage and moving forward. There's too much hate in the world. We feel it right here in the United States. Our political parties are divisive. They're keeping us apart just because you may be a Democrat and I may be a Republican or vice versa. We are Americans before anything else, and we need to act like Americans. If we want to be the world leader, we need to act like a world leader and stop fighting amongst each other while our government is passing legislation secretly behind our back, because we're tied up in our own conflicts.
Yeah. Clearly, we don't see a lot of the things that even happen to us, and I think that, I don't know, if you wanted to pass on like one message, I mean, clearly you speak of some type of unity between us where we can all be uplifted. So, what's the kind of cornerstone of your campaign as far as that goes, and anything you want to tell us about your platform?
Well, I mean, I represent people before politics. I feel like it's the American people need to be taken care of before the political agenda. We have a right to survive and exist in our country. We have a right to flourish and have a future for our children and our grandchildren. Right now, that is all in jeopardy. Why? because our freedom is at stake. I see more of our everyday God-given freedoms in this country being taken away by an administration that wants to tell us what stove we can use in our home, or what cars we need to buy, or what time we need to do our laundry and dishes in the dishwasher. I don't want to be told what to do. In the land of the free, I will be free. That's my biggest message. And we tell people you can't spell community without the word unity. And what's the shame in holding your head up, being proud, and understanding the difference between compromise and conflict? We need to start compromising in our society to get things done. And we get what my mother used to say, you get more from a bee, more honey from a bee than whatever the saying. Why are we not paying attention to what was in the 80s and 90s, when life was affordable, when life was easier, when the United States was strong and powerful? And we saw a glimpse of that from 2016 to 2020 when Trump was in office. I love President Trump. I think that he is the guy that can get us back to where we were. But we have to stand up for the cause and support the country. And if that means support one man, we need to support one man to get it done.
What do you think about the recent charges against Trump?
What can I say on this platform? Is this
I'm a guy. No, you can say whatever. I'm a guy who doesn't pay too much attention because, like, the court stuff to me, it's like it's all chatter. You know what I mean?
I'll just be blunt with you. I think it's bullshit. To be honest with you, I think the DOJ, or I think Biden's administration is so intimidated by what this man can do, and they want the democracy to turn into a dictatorship, is what it seems like. We see it here in Michigan with Gretchen Whitmer and the things that she's doing. And I think that they are willing to do anything and everything to go after their enemy. Well, if Donald Trump is their enemy, what are they going to do for the average MAGA supporter or America First supporter that believes this country should be the priority? Are they going to come after all of us?
I think the thing is, do you think that it'll necessarily be coming after all of us, or do you think that it'll just sink all of our expectations no matter how we feel about everything? Because clearly that seems to be the trend in American politics. So do you think it'll just be MAGA supporters necessarily, or just all of us will be under, degrading conditions?
I honestly think they're going to do whatever they can do to control every aspect of what we do as citizens in this country. I mean, they want to form the Freedom Cities, or whatever they call them nowadays. We have 2 WEF buildings right here in Detroit, and the sanctuary cities here for the immigrants. I think that goes against our state constitution. We shouldn't have that here. We should not be saying, oh, you can come here and we're not going to mess with you. We're not going to touch you. You got to come here legally, abide by our laws. You are no better than us. This is our country. If we have to follow the law, so should you. And I just think that if we keep preaching that unity message long enough, loud enough, and hard enough, it'll start sinking in with the people all around us, not just here in Michigan, but all over the country.
You mentioned the WEF. What kind of dangers do you think the WEF poses to American life and American society?
I just think it's control. I mean, a lot of it is, putting up cameras to see, where people are at, where they're going. They don't want you to drive your cars on certain roads. They'd rather have you these 15-minute cities. They want you walking places for the environment and all this stuff, climate control. But if climate control was really a thing, why are we still having horrific tornadoes rip across this country every year?
Right, and snowstorms, obviously.
Yeah, I'm from Texas originally, right?
You guys had a winter, right?
Well, yeah, we just had a winter. If you go back 75 years to what the temperature was in July of whatever that year would be versus July of this year, they're within 1 or 2 degrees of each other.
Right.
So Mother Nature's not cashing the checks, Joe Biden. I think it's just a scam that they put this money somewhere and they get the residual coming back one way or the other. We're not going to control what happens up here. And I look at it as far as climate control, I look at it as like a baby being born. Day one, when this world was created, climate began to evolve and change, just like a baby begins to die from the moment they're born. Life begins, life ends, right? The time in between is what we enjoy. It's what we make it. The climate is no different. It is going to continue to evolve and change and deteriorate as time goes on. Nothing ever created stays the same for eternity.
And you think humans will just adapt to that as we go, right?
We adapt as we go, but you can't tell everybody in this country to buy an electric car. If that's the case, then the government should stop funding Ukraine and buy us all brand new cars, and they should pay for it.
I would agree with that. They can fund hospitals or a lot of other things. I definitely agree. So yeah, I don't know, are there any big other cornerstones of your platform you want to speak on, or anything else you'd like to say?
Really, outside of bringing my district together and bringing the state together, bringing the country together, it really needs to focus on people before politics. We have to start addressing the needs of the American people. To do that, we have to stop enticing people from all over the world to come here and take our benefits that you and I have paid into all of our life. We should be eligible for, which we're not now, because it's going somewhere else, to someone else. We really just need to focus on my campaign, my staff, my administration team. We have to focus on being a large presence in our district. That's not something you see with politicians. They get elected, they disappear.
Right, no constituent services.
Right, yeah. I am focused on representing the people and actually serving on bended knee, if needed, the people of my district and the people of this country.
Awesome. Well, great. Thank you for talking to us.
Yep.
And love to hear from you.